Hello everyone, and welcome to another myViewBoard How-Tos live stream. So for today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to use myViewBoard Classroom. So first off, what I'll be teaching you today is first I'll give a classroom overview, then I'll do a demo lesson, and then I'll show you the different tools that I use to create the lesson. First off, for myViewBoard Classroom, we highly recommend having two screens. For example, like in this picture, the first screen, so that you'll be able to see your dashboard and be able to do classroom management from there. And the second screen, so that you can see the teacher canvas. It's definitely more optimal to have two screens. You can use it for the same way, like in the picture, or for example, the first screen could be your laptop, and the second screen could be a pen display. For example, currently, the one that I'm using is the ID 1330. And it's really convenient because then you can just directly write on your whiteboard canvas when you're teaching your lesson. So definitely more optimal for two screens. If not, it's also okay. You can make do with one screen also. Okay, so for a classroom overview, first off, over here on the left, there is a screen record option. So if you have students that weren't able to make it to your class, then you can screen record your lesson and then you can directly send them the video so that they can watch it at home. And over here is, if you click on this teacher button, it's actually the huddle overview, and you'll be able to see the teacher canvas as well as the different huddle canvas. Over here, you have the page management. So you can manage the different pages of your slides. And over here is the dashboard. So when you first open up Classroom, on the right-hand corner, you'll see this pop-up. And if you click on it, it'll open the dashboard. Or if you go over here to the right-hand corner, if you click on this button, it will open up the dashboard. So this is the dashboard where you can see all your students and you can do your classroom management from here. Later on, when I start to let more students in, I'll give more descriptions of the different parts of the dashboard. Okay, and for me, personal preference-wise, I really like to see what my students will be seeing when I'm preparing my lessons. So what you can do is you can go over here to the public session. This is where you're going to share your session to your students. I'm going to copy this link. Just click on it and it'll copy the link. And if I open up a new tab and paste the link, this is what your students will be seeing when they first sign in. And they just type their name here and they're going to click sign in. And as you can see, this is the student view. You'll be able to see the teacher's canvas and the teacher's video, as well as be able to chat with students in the public chat or huddle. And they can raise their hand and use different annotation tools. So when you're preparing your lesson and you want to see how your students will be interacting with the lesson, you can create your own little fake student and you can see what the student will be seeing in their student view. And over here, this is the share camera and audio button. So I'm going to toggle that on. In the very beginning, you're going to want to toggle that on. Oops, so that your students will be able to see and hear your video. But right now, because I'm doing the live stream, I already have a video live streaming. So I'm going to turn off the audio and video feature, but just know that that is there so that your students will be able to see your video. Okay, so for now, I'm going to turn it off. Okay, so let's start off with our first little activity. Before we get into our lesson, what I wanted to do was just to gauge how you're feeling today. Are you good, okay, or are you feeling bad? So that way you can just gauge how your students are feeling for the day and maybe interact with them depending on how they're feeling. So first thing, I'm going to go into the Edit Teacher Canvas, and I'm going to allow real-time collaboration. So the students will be able to collaborate in real time and be able to move things around the canvas. So you definitely want to turn on real-time collaboration. And now I'm going to start letting some students into the session. So I'm going to go into the public session option over here on the top. And right now, if you have a tablet, you can directly scan this QR code and you can enter into the session. We don't recommend using a cell phone because it's not as optimal. So if you have a tablet, you can use the QR code scanning option. And right now, I'm going to copy and paste this link into the comment section so that you can directly join from there. Okay, and then paste it. So now if you see the comment section on Facebook and YouTube, you can directly click on that link and you can join into the classroom session. And I will show you a third way of how you can join this session. If you go into myviewboard.com and you click over here on the right-hand corner, there's an icon where you can join a classroom session. You click on that. You're going to write in the teacher's session ID, which for me would be MBB How-To. And then you have the students write their name, and then they can directly sign on to the session. So I'm going to leave the QR code a little bit longer. So definitely scan the QR code if you have a tablet. And you can also use the link, which is in the comment section. Or the third option is you can go to myviewboard.com, and then there's going to be a top right-hand place, there's the icon to join a classroom session. And for the host name, it's going to be MBB How-To. Okay, so 3 ways you can join the session. Okay, now let's go into the dashboard to see the different students that are joining in. So as you can see over here on the right-hand corner, there is the engagement. And if you hover over each one, it'll tell you what it means. So if it's green, it means the student is on tab. If it's yellow, it means the student is not in the classroom tab. And if it's red, it means that the student hasn't been active for 5+ minutes. So this is really cool because then you can see the different student engagement. Over here on the bottom, you'll be able to see the different students that are in your classroom right now. And over here is the status. So if a student has a status connection issue, like this one over here, you'll be able to see it, and then you'll be able to understand, like, oh, okay, this student might have some internet connection issues. And over here, as you can see, when they first start off, they're all going to be in one huddle. So now I'm going to make it that everybody goes into, let's switch it to make it 3 huddles. So I'm going to go here. You can choose from increments of 5, or in this case, since I want 3, you can just directly type it in and press enter. And this will shuffle the students into, it will actually create 3 huddle groups. And now if you want to actually shuffle the students into the 3 huddle groups, you're going to go back here and click the shuffle button again and click yes. And now the students will be shuffled into 3 different groups. And you can also move around the students. For example, if you want a student to be in this group instead, you can just move them around into the huddles. So you can just directly click on the student and drag and drop it to the huddle that you want. So for example, huddle 1, you have too many students, so I'm going to move 1 student into huddle 3. So as you can see, now there's 3 different huddle groups. And if you flip it, you can actually see the huddle canvas from here too. Okay, so let's get started with our lesson today. For this lesson, I'm going to show you how a student can edit the teacher canvas. And I'm going to demo what I want you to do. I want you to go into the sticky note, click the sticky note tool. And I want you to create a sticky note, type your name, click off of it, and then resize it to make it a little bit smaller so that you don't cover up too many people. And move it to the place of how do you feel today? Good, okay, or bad? Just move your sticky note with your name to the correct place. Definitely keep in mind when you start off in student view, it's going to start off in the pen tool. So make sure that you switch to the sticky note option, or else you're going to be drawing all over the teacher canvas, and we don't want that. Okay, so now in order to allow you to edit the teacher canvas, I'm going to go into the dashboard and allow annotation rights. So go to the teacher dashboard, and then I'm going to click here where I can toggle editing privileges for the class. And once I click this, you're going to be able to edit the teacher canvas, so do it wisely. So ready? Go. So now I've allowed you editing privileges, and I'm going to go into the student view to show you what that looks like. And what I want you to do, remember, is go here to the sticky note, choose a sticky note color, write your name. I see people are already using the pen tool. Remember, sticky note, not pen. Resize it, and then you can move it around the canvas. Remember to choose the sticky note option, not pen tool. Sticky note. Okay. And then as you can see the students as they're writing, and you can see which student is doing what. So yay, I'm glad that there are quite a few people that are feeling good today. And it's okay, it gets some little bit getting used to for students. So initially you might have some students like drawing on the canvas because they don't realize that you want them to choose the sticky note option. So once the students get used to it, it'll be a lot smoother. But the good thing is most of you got it correct, and you were able to write that you're feeling good today, or okay, it's okay. And for this, if you have some students that are feeling bad, then maybe you can, after class, maybe talk to them one-on-one to see what's going on. So it's a good way to just gauge how your students are feeling. Good job, everyone. I'm glad that most of you were able to use the sticky note option on the first try. That's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next part of our lesson. And as you can see, when I moved on to the next tab, it automatically turned off the annotation tools. So now the students will not be able to edit the teacher canvas anymore. Okay, so for our lesson for today, we're going to be talking about the different parts of the body. And in order to learn about that, we're going to do some video-assisted learning. And for this, when you put a video onto the canvas, what you want to do is click the present button. So then you can actually play the video. So I'm going to play a little bit of that video. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, head. So as you can see, you could probably have learned this video before when you were younger. It teaches the different body parts. So you can play this video with your students and then teach them the different body parts. And now that they know the different body parts, you can have the students label them. So for this, what I want you to do is I'm going to have you go to the select tool. And first I'm going to turn off the present mode. And I'm going to go into the select tool. And I want you to select the different body part label and put it to the correct place. So for example, which one is the head? Which one is head? It is right here, the head. So just move the label to the correct body part using the select tool, the select tool. Remember, not the pen tool, the select tool. Okay, and over here, I have a little cheat sheet to show you how you can make it have the same huddle activity and give you like step-by-step directions. So the first thing that you want to do to make this onto all the different huddle groups is you're going to go into the page management and click on that. And I'm going to go into the little arrow button, click that. And you're going to copy this page to all the huddles and click done. So now this page will go out to all the huddles and they'll be able to edit it. And now I'm going to go into the dashboard and I'm going to click here to switch to huddle canvas. So then the students in the huddles will now be able to move the labels to the correct place. Okay, ready? And it's sort of like a breakout session, so you can choose the amount of time that you want the huddles to discuss. Right now, for demo purposes, I'm going to be really quick, and I'm only going to give you 1 minute. But normally, you might want to give your students more time than that. Okay, ready? 1 minute. Go. So now I'm going to go back into the student view to show you what the students are seeing. But right now, because it's live stream, the audio, I don't want it to have an echo. So I'm going to toggle off the speaking privileges so that I don't get that echo. And as you can see, the students can now choose the select tool, and they can move the body part label to the correct place. So if I go over here into the teacher canvas, I can go into the huddle view, and I can see what my students are doing right now. Huddle 1. I think Huddle 1 accidentally deleted their picture. So remember, for yourself in the future, what you can do is you're going to want to lock this picture so that that doesn't happen. So if you click on the picture and you click the lock button, that way the students won't be able to delete the picture. So definitely keep that in mind in the future if you don't want the students to do that. So Huddle 1, no, you deleted the picture. Huddle 2, good job. Let's see if you're correct. Shoulders, toes, ears, eyes, mouth, head, knees, and nose. Good job. 8 out of 8, 100. And then somebody deleted it. Okay, so I take back my 100 then because somebody deleted the pictures. So as you can see, you can just directly go into the huddle and you can be able to edit it. And remember, for yourself, definitely lock these pictures so that the students won't be able to delete the picture by accident. So definitely keep that in mind when you're preparing your lesson. Okay, now on to the next activity. For this one, what I want you to do is write the number of body parts for these monsters. So, for example, this is the Cookie Monster as a baby. How many eyes does it have? It has 2. I don't see any ears. I see 1 mouth, and I don't see a nose. So you just write the number of body parts that you see. And for this activity, I'm going to make it that it is going to be different huddle activities, and I'll show you step by step how to do that. So it starts off the same. I'm going to go into the page management, and I'm going to copy this page onto all the huddles so that the background will be the same. And click Done. And now I'm going to go into the huddle overview by clicking this teacher option here. And as you can see, it shows all the different huddle views. I'm going to go into the magic box and do an image search and search for some cute monsters. And I can just drag and drop it directly onto the canvas, like so. And that way the students will have different monsters that they have to write the number of body parts for. Okay. And now I'm going to go back into the dashboard and toggle it on so that I have the huddle view. And again, I'll give you 1 minute. And I want you to write with the pen tool the number of body parts that you see. Ready? Go. So as you can see in the student view, the number of body parts. I'm going to turn off the speaking privileges so that we don't have that echo again. So the students can just directly write what they see. And another option that they can do is they can go to the select tool. And if the picture is too small, they can select the picture and make it bigger, like so. And then that way they can see a bigger picture of the different Halloween, the little cute monsters. Okay. And remember, you're going to want to lock these things. So in the future, just click lock and lock. And then that way the students won't accidentally delete it. Okay, so let's go into one of the huddle canvases to see how they're doing. For huddle number 2, let's see if you're correct. It has 2 eyes, it has 0 ears, 1 mouth, and no nose. Good job, 100. So you can directly edit the huddle canvas and let the students know how they're doing. Okay, now we're going to go into the next part of our lesson. So for this part, I'm going to show you how you can do individual huddles so that each student has their own whiteboard canvas. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the dashboard. And right now we have 9 students, or 10 students. Let's do 10. And I can just write 10 over here, and it's going to create 10 different huddles. And if I remember to click it twice to shuffle it, and now I'm going to shuffle it so that each student now has their own huddle canvas. Okay, so as you can see, there are now 10 different huddle canvases, and each student will have their own whiteboard now. But first, we're going to stick on the teacher canvas so that I can show you this 3D image, which is really cool. And in order to show the Sketchfab 3D image, I'm going to go into the present option. And now I'm going to go into the student view to show you what the students will be seeing. And as you can see, you can actually move around this 3D image. It's really cool, right? And you can get a 3D view of this 3D image, and the students can just move it around directly. If you're not able to see the 3D image, what you can do is just refresh your browser, and you're going to want to sign into the classroom session again. And when you sign in again, it'll refresh it, and you'll be able to see it. So just in case, if you can't see the 3D image, you can always refresh it and be able to see it. And as you can see, like, you can just move it around. And my question for you is, how many eyes does the monster have? How many eyes does the monster have? How many? Okay, now that you've played around with the 3D image and been able to spin it around, let's see, how many eyes does it have? So I'm going to turn off the present mode, and I'm going to go back into the dashboard. And right now, each of you have your own canvas. So I'm going to want you to write on your blank white canvas, how many eyes does the monster have? How many eyes does the monster have? And use a pen tool just to write the number. Okay, ready? 1 minute again, and go. So for this, and use a pen tool just to write the number. Each of you will have your own canvas. So you can use the pen tool and just directly write the number of eyes that you saw on the monster. What is the number? The number. How many eyes does a monster have? So if I go into the huddle overview, I can see the different students. Yay! Most of you are correct. It is 4. So if I click over here, so if I go into the huddle overview, I can see the different students. I'll turn off the speaking privileges so I don't get that echo. But the correct answer is 4. So as you can see the different students. Some of you wrote 2. That is not correct, because if you do the 360 view and you can see all the different directions, you'll notice that there's actually 4 eyes. Okay, and let me show you that. So now I can go back into present mode, and let me show you the 4 different eyes. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 eyes on this monster. So if you answered 4, you were correct. Okay, so that was our lesson for today. I hope you had a little bit of fun playing around with the different activities. And now I'm going to show you how I created that lesson. So the first thing is, for the background, some of the backgrounds I use original content, and I also use the color option to change the color of the background. And I use the magic box a lot. So for example, one of the activities, what I did was I imported a PDF worksheet and I just cropped it and created that labeling activity that you saw. And also for the images and the YouTube video, it was directly all from the Magic Box. And for the 3D image, that is from Sketchfab, also inside of the Magic Box. If you want to open up a .qb file, you're going to go to the File Manager. And if you want to save a lesson, for example, this lesson, you will want to go to the File Manager and export to .qb. Export to .qb. So these are some tips and tricks for how to use Classroom. And now for some classroom resources. First and foremost, if your school has not signed up as an entity, definitely do so. Because as an entity, the school will have all the different features of Classroom. To get all the full features, you'll want to sign up as an entity for your school. So they can do so here by scanning this QR code, and they can fill out the form and be able to sign up as an entity. And right now it is free for a limited time. So sign up as soon as you can for your school. And then that way they'll be able to get the full features of Classroom. And if you would like to learn more about Classroom, we have a wiki page and a blog page. You can just scan these QR codes to be able to access it. And last but not least, remember, when you finish your Classroom session, what you're going to want to do is end the session. Because if you don't end the session, sometimes the students will stay on. So you want to end that session so it completes your lesson. And to do that, you're going to go into the user profile over here and click End Session. End Session. Like so. And when you do that, you can just click Leave. And as you can see, now the students will get an end session and they won't be able to stay on in the class. And even if they try to sign back in, it'll show that the teacher has not started a class. So definitely remember to end session, end session. Also, after you end the session, there's going to be a classroom survey that will pop up, and you can complete the survey to give some feedback of how it was. And if you have any feature requests, you can also write it here in the classroom survey, and it'll directly go to the PM and the dev team, so they'll be able to directly see what teachers like. So definitely fill that out afterwards. That is our lesson for today. I hope you had a bit of fun playing around in our classroom, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.